Hello everyone. There's a time of the week that for me, ever since I was a child, has always been the worst. Sunday evening. Yeah, because it's the end of the weekend, you can't go to bed too late and, well, I think it's not just for me who feel this way. And so, to escape the monotonous reality of life, alternating between work and the occasional meeting with friends, I decided to take a trip to Morterone, the smallest comune in Italy. Now, a comune is the smallest administrative subdivision in Italy. Region, province, and then municipality in Italian comune. Now this is the only road that goes to Morterone. Morterone is the smallest, with about 37 inhabitants. But honestly, that doesn't matter. The point was to give meaning to a bad moment, Sunday evening. A Sunday spent alone, because between girls and other commitments, my friends weren't there. And also a little sincerely, because often in recent years I have found that I feel better alone than spending time talking about nothing. Sometimes company is the best thing there is, and sometimes, as a good introvert, it's much more tiring than solitude. Not that solitude isn't tiring, not that navigating your own thoughts isn't exhausting, not that asking yourself the same questions over and over again every day, every week, every month, always giving yourself the same answers, or perhaps without even being able to give them. And if in one sense it's better, in another it's worse. Because you are throwing the ball forward and hoping that the answers will come one day in their own, just by living. And even if that's perhaps the case, in fact, living and experiencing certainly allows you to gain new ways of interpreting the world and therefore also to be able to give yourself answers, or at least new attempts. On the other hand, however, there must be new experiences for this to happen. If you always live the same life, with the same people, in the same places, the answer can't come. The mental stimulation won't be there. And so, one should always have new experiences. And that's what I wanted to come here. It's not an adventure, it's less than a 2-hour drive from Milan, where I live. But it's something, even just a way to see a reality completely different from my own. To ask myself a few questions about what life might be like for someone who lives in a place like this. I would also have liked to talk to the locals and ask them, but unless a situation arises where it comes naturally to start a conversation, I'm quite shy about starting conversations with strangers, and so in the end, my only interlocutor for the whole day was myself. It's an activity I really enjoy, but I understand its potential for creating new visions is very limited. Only what I can interpret from the external stimuli of the place where I am, and from the people I see, but with whom I didn't exchange anything, apart from maybe a few glances, in which the only thing that emerges is that even if we don't know each other, we know we are different. And it's a feeling I often experience, being different from others. Sometimes it hurts, sometimes it's a medal to wear. And depending on which of these two sensations I feel different, I will have a more or less confident approach to interaction and the experiences I'm living. To avoid suffering, the first response is always defensiveness, to withdraw. Lately I have developed a strong indifference, and so I'm proud of my diversity. Even if sometimes I fear I'm exaggerating just to demonstrate this, when in reality being different isn't a value. It's neither intrinsically positive nor negative. I think it's positive not to be ashamed of being who you are, regardless of whether this is unique or not. Because let's face it, trying to be different at all costs is very common. While perhaps the search is to be yourself, and even there, I don't believe you have to find yourself. I think you have to build a self you feel comfortable with, without forcing yourself to always be consistent with a prefabricated image, but getting to be internally satisfied with who we are, and not caring what other thinks. For better or for worse, and sometimes we will be different, sometimes not. And here they are certainly different. 37 persons, they wouldn't be many even at a party. And the girls will still be few and far between, and the one you end up talking with, engaged. Who knows, by the way, what relationships must be like for people here. They will be different from those of us in the city, but surely some feelings like love and suffering will be equal. Maybe because from the biggest city to the smallest, even if we are different, in the end, we are all a bit the same. And so we are back in the main road, in a road, and back on the way to Milan. Thank you for watching, I hope you enjoyed it.